Today I'm going to be talking about one of the things that underpins everything that I do when talking to people about growing their practice. And I think there's a bit of a misconception about what growing practice involves. And I think a lot of doctors shy away from it because they think it involves some kind of special offer and deals and selling your soul to the devil. But what it basically involves, the essence of what it involves, is communicating with your patients and talking to your patients. And since I've started focusing heavily on growing my practice and growing my business, I feel that I'm actually giving a better service as a doctor and giving better medical care to my patients. Case in point is that I have just got information from BARPS, the Plastic Surgery Association, about the updated government guidelines on ALCL, which is a very rare cancer associated with breast implants, and they've just published some new guidelines. Now, because I have an infrastructure set up that I regularly communicate with my patients, within probably about 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, I have done an email which I've sent to 3,000 people, I think. So I've basically done an email that I should have got the numbers, but I've published an email with a link to that document. It's scheduled to send, so it's not sent yet. Anyway, 3,000 odd patients that it's scheduled to send, which has got a link to the document with the latest government guidelines about ALCL, and it's sent to all the patients who are interested in breast implants, removal of implants, replacement of implants, or implants and a lift. So because my database is structured so that these patients are all tagged, when they come into the database they're tagged as to whether they are, what they're interested in and what stage of the proceedings they're in, I can very easily pull up those 3,000 odd patients and then send them all an email saying, just want to let you know that there's the latest government guidance has come out on this ALCL, and in essence what the government guidance says is you don't have to worry if you've got implants in, but if you have a swelling or a lump, then you need to seek help from your doctor. And what I basically said in the email is, if I'm your doctor, then come to the clinic. I want you to know that there's an open appointment to all my patients. If you've got any problems, or even if you haven't got any problems, come to the clinic. And if you are not my patient, then you go to the clinic that treated you. And if that is not possible, then go to see your GP, who will be able to help you and refer you to the local breast centre, even if you've had your surgery done privately, whether it be in the UK or not. As long as you're eligible for NHS treatment, you will be able to be treated and seen. So, this is an important public health announcement. And this is the sort of thing that I am communicating to patients. I'm communicating to patients what to expect, what the lifespan of an implant is, what are the common issues they might get, and what to do about them. It's all about communication and letting people know what is available, and what you can do for them and what you can't do for them, and giving them the tools to allow them to make an informed decision. And far too many of us are not communicating adequately with our patients. That's bad practice. But also, if you did for instance have a problem like we had the problem with implants a while ago, with some implants which were being made with non-medical grade silicone, and it was recommended we contact those patients. Now, fortunately, I never used those implants, so I didn't have a problem. But there was a plastic surgeon who had used 400 odd, and he had to contact all these patients. Now, potentially, you'd have to go through the operating books in theatre to go back for the last 20 years of his practice to be looking for the patients who's put these implants in. But if you've got a robust database, you can pull up this sort of information very easily. If your database is segmented, you can pull it up, and then you can contact these patients and just say, look, this is a problem with the implants, please give us a ring and make an appointment to come back and see me. Otherwise, it's going to just be such a complete nightmare for you to try and find the patients and contact them. So what I'm talking about is about making your practice better. I'm not talking about doing anything spurious or doing a deal or doing an offer. I'm talking about communicating with your patients. It's good practice, and actually it's the flip side is true. It's bad practice not to do this, You know, if you're not communicating with your patients regularly, and I'm not talking about the GP letters, I'm not talking about appointment reminders, that's a given. I'm talking about communicating with other stuff aside from GP letters and appointment reminders. Communicating, giving them information about what you do, what sort of symptoms you can help address, what sort of things to look out for, giving them helpful information. That is what marketing your practice is all about. And when these sorts of alerts come out, and they come out every now and then, it's very easy for me to contact my database to let them know what's going on in the world, and to let them know what the government advice is, and to let them know what my take on it is and what to do if they're concerned. And I think many people, many doctors out there are not able to do that. If in your industry a problem came up and they said, look, this device, there's a problem with it, or you know, this condition now has got to be treated this way, or this implant should be monitored in this way, how easy it would be for you, would it be for you to get hold of patients who had that device, had that procedure, had that implant, and then communicate this information to them, because that's what we should be doing. And I can tell you now, I don't think any other plastic surgeon in the country will be doing this, will have done what I've done today in half an hour, will, you know, contacted 3,000 odd of my patients and given them the government guidelines. I don't think anyone else has done it. I might, maybe some people have, but, you know, not many have done it, and that's, you know, pretty shocking, really. I think we should all be doing this regularly. And, you know, in my new world, we will all be doing it. Once I've got this consulting thing sorted, we're going to have it's going to be massive, because we should all be doing it regularly. We should always, a no-brainer, really. We should all be contacting our database. So that's the point of today. It's good. This stuff is good. Don't be shy. Get out there. Get communicating. Get software that can allow you to communicate with your patients and give them information. I mean, it doesn't have to be just this government guidance. It's just to be, you know, do you take the nipple off with a breast lift or a breast reduction? Everyone thinks they take the nipple off, you know. No, you don't take the nipple off. Well, you can, but it's only in certain cases. This is what you do. This is what, you know, people don't know these things. You know, I went to a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and they said, right, hands up here who uses smooth implants. Loads of people. Hands up here who uses texture. Hands up here who uses this. I'm like, hold on a minute. You shouldn't just be using one type of implant, or at least it's okay if you want to do that. Do you let the patients know about the other types of implants? You know, patients have got to be fully informed going into surgery. If you're only using smooth implants, you know, you've got to accept that other people in the world are using different types of implants. So there's got to be something good about the other ones. I'm not saying there's something good about the smooth, but there's got to be something bad about the smooth. Otherwise, if the smooth were the best, everyone would use them. If the texture were the best, everyone would use them. If the polyurethane the best, everyone would use them. But the fact of the matter is, some people use smooth, some people use textures, some people use polyurethane. There's good and bad about all of them, and we should be communicating this with patients so that allow them to be involved in the decision making. Yes, we can guide them. Yes, we can say, I use smooth implants for these reasons. But we should be informing patients about the other options, and I think a lot of people are not informing patients about the other options. And that is what marketing is, informing patients about what the options are. I hope that's been helpful, and I hope I'm helping to push you into getting out there and communicating and helping patients, because that's what it's all about.